her support for Donald Trump, who is a convicted felon based on charges stemming from hush money payouts for an affair he had while his wife was at home with their infant son. A judge stated that he raped E. Jean Carroll. He's been credibly accused of sexual assault by more than 24 women. In fact, that's a point that I brought up during an appearance with Piers Morgan. Look, going back to Nancy Mace, she explains on a weekly basis how she was the victim of sexual assault, including in this very previous segment with you. And yet, and to that point, I feel for her, and I think that's absolutely also awful. But she also breathlessly supports somebody like Donald Trump, who is an adjudicated rapist and who was credibly accused of sexual assault by 26 different women. So the cognitive dissonance at play here, first of all, is incredible. But second of all, just with regard to Nancy Mace, with regard to Donald Trump, we know why they're doing this. Nancy Mace is not afraid of Sarah McBride chasing her into the bathroom. She's not. She wants to fundraise off this. She wants to be social media famous. She wants to be... Nancy Mace has more ambition to be famous online than every single member of Jersey Shore.
Doesn't mean she's wrong.
So look, if Nancy Mace was truly as concerned about the prospect of sexual assault as she claims to be, then maybe she'd have even 1% reticence to vote for the guy who she breathlessly supports, Donald Trump, who again, credibly accused of sexual assault by 26 women and is an adjudicated rapist according to a judge. And yet, according to Mace, that all seems totally fine. But Sarah McBride, who, as far as I can tell, has behaved herself with nothing more than grace and class, merely existing, that's apparently a bridge too far for Nancy Mace. So I guess the question for Mace is this: is sexual assault only okay when Republicans do it? And finally, as promised, let's be clear about something. Lest you think that Nancy Mace is acting in good faith, she's not. Her entire MO in Congress is to whip up pretend controversies then she can then leverage for attention or money. She is the physical manifestation of the worst of our attention economy. Here's a small sampling of just some of what I mean.
I'm washing my hands. I'm even wearing my mask inside the chamber, but I'm not going to wear it anywhere else. So, Madam Speaker, come and get me.
So what is this?
This says you can't erase us, Nancy. Well, then you shouldn't try to erase women. I have to say, for any man that wants to be in a woman's restroom, bathroom, dressing room, locker room, absolutely not. I'm wearing the scarlet letter after the week that I just had last week, being a woman up here and being demonized for my vote and for my voice. I'm here to let the rest of the world know and the country know I'm on the side of the people. I'm not on the side of the establishment, and I'm going to do the right thing every single time, no matter the consequences, because I don't answer to anybody in D.C. I don't answer to anyone in Washington. I only answer to the people.
If Nancy Mace deigned to open a book, she might realize that the A from the scarlet letter doesn't mean that you've been demonized for your gender. It would mean that she had an affair. But hey, reading is hard. In fact, here's my favorite one, where Nancy Mace decided to wear her arm in a sling because she claims that she was injured from a handshake.
Last night, I was assaulted on the Capitol grounds at the Rayburn House office building after I gave a speech. This guy, this trans activist, clearly, he also left the event last night right after this happened. So if he did nothing wrong, why flee?
But some people who say they witnessed what occurred between Mace and McIntyre are publicly disputing Mace's allegations. A foster care advocacy group was in the Rayburn House office building for a reception. As Mace was looking for the room's exit, a foster care advocate, Elliot Hinkle, says McIntyre approached the Congresswoman. According to Hinkle's account, what we witnessed was a handshake, a passionate shake, but it didn't look like an assault or intended aggression. Hinkle says McIntyre told Mace that trans youth are also foster youth and they need her support.
And not for nothing, but it's kind of funny that Mace threatened to fight with Crockett when she also pretended that she needed a cast from a handshake. But look, this is what you get from the GOP. Theatrics intended for clicks and money. That is the entire incentive structure within that party. And while that stuff might work from the minority, while Republicans don't expect to pass any legislation, hopefully this exposes the reality to Americans that this GOP isn't interested in governing even when they're in the majority. It is only interested in squeezing every last dime out of the base. Nancy Mace is a testament to exactly that. Before you go, just a quick note, if you'd like to see more of my content, which is always free of advertising, sponsorships, and paywalls, please make sure to subscribe to this channel using the subscribe button right here on the screen. And if you'd like to support my work even further, you can grab a copy of my instant #1 New York Times selling book, Shameless, available for sale right now. That link is also on the screen. Thanks so much for watching.